me 2 claps and a Ric Flair.
Welcome everybody to the Miami Battalion channel. With me today, I have the pleasure and honor of speaking with Sergeant First Class Cote, who is the AP&A chief. We are unfortunately getting ready to lose him here tomorrow, but we are happy and very proud of everything he's done for the battalion and the Army in general. How are you doing, man?
Good. Another day in paradise. It's a little rainy, a little windy, but it's a great day to be alive.
So like I mentioned, you are coming up on your retirement. I'm very curious, how are you feeling with having done, what, 20 years in the Army?
A little over 21. It's different. It's something that we all pride ourselves on and we think we're ready for, but I'm going to tell you now, you will not be ready. The emotions will hit you. The realization will hit you. Some of it will be positive, some will be negative, but when your day comes, you'll understand what I'm talking about.
Now, I'd like to bring it back to the beginning a little bit. I'm curious, can you tell us your first memory of the Army or what attracted you to the Army?
So what first attracted me to the Army was, believe it or not, G.I. Jane. G.I. Jane, Rambo, I was always a fan of those. Matter of fact, I was Rambo for 8 years for Halloween in a row. So I always knew I was going into the military. Wasn't into school, didn't like going to school when it was free. I wasn't going to pay for it. So when I took the ASVAB in high school and things like that, the recruiter came knocking, sat down, gave me a presentation, and I told my mom, hey, this is what I want to do. And she's like, cool, you can do it when you're 18. And I was 17 at the time. And I'm like, oh, well, that backfired. Talking to her a little bit, and this is all pre-9/11, she ended up signing the parental consent after some negotiation. But the funny story about it was my mom always knew I was going in the military. And she told me this years later. She's like, you were Rambo for 10 years, 8 years, whatever it was. I knew you were going. I just didn't want to let you go. I wanted to hold on to you.
Now, you said your mom was a little bit anxious. Maybe, you know, there's some nerves because, you know, she's your mother and she wants what's best for you. How was that process to get her on board? And what would you tell other family members who are in the same boat that maybe they're nervous about their son or daughters enlisting?
The one thing I said to my mom was, at the time when I joined the Army, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And like I said, pre-9/11, so we weren't at war, we weren't anything like that. Pre-Google, pre-YouTube, yes, I'm old. But I told my mom, I was like, look, if I join now as a senior in high school, I'll have more job options. If I wait till I graduate, which my graduation is when I turned 18, I'm going to be needs of the Army. And she's like, oh, I don't know what that means. I'm like, well, now I can do any job that I kind of want to do, that I qualify for, or when I join the Army, or when I turn 18, if infantry is the only thing available, I'm going infantry. I blinked, she picked up the pen, signed the parental consent right then and there.
And now, once you graduate, those nerves kind of become into pride and just seeing the evolution of their son or daughter becoming a soldier. How was your family's reaction when you graduated boot camp?
I tell every family the same thing, and this is based off my family. Your mom and dad are going to cry 3 times when you join the Army. They're going to cry the day you enlist, they're going to cry the day you leave, and they're going to cry the final last time when you graduate basic training and they're standing on that field giving you a hug. And all 3 different crying periods, sort of say, are 3 different emotions. One sad you're leaving, one's another deeply sad you're leaving because it's real, and then one is a pride, saying, hey, my baby did it.
And now, after basic, you know, it's the beginning of these soldiers' career. What can these young soldiers expect after graduating?
After graduating basic training? What can they expect? Big boy rules. Mommy's not telling you to wake up. Mom's not paying your bills. Mom's not doing any of that. It's all on you. You're going to have a sense of pride because you're out on your own, doing things your own. But the Army's going to be there to help you. We have great financial training for soldiers coming out of basic training, something we didn't have in the beginning. There's a lot of programs that we have that when I was coming up, we didn't have. And I encourage anybody to look into these and take advantage of them.
And now, with having done 21 years in the Army, you've seen the major evolutions of the Army. Can you tell us how the Army has evolved since you first started?
Night and day. Everybody says this. If you talk to Mr. T down in Ops, he's going to tell you that the military was different the day he joined versus the day he got out. And everybody goes through that period, right? When I joined, it was easy. Hey, here's your paycheck, go do your job. Now we're more based on educating our soldiers, not just financially, but in college, right? A lot of our academies now are lining up with college credits. So by the time you get through Sergeant Major Academy, there's no reason why you don't have a bachelor's degree. You know, so I think that's one big evolution that's taken place along with retirement, right? The blended retirement system is the best thing that the Army could have ever done.
Now for yourself, what kind of changes do you feel like the Army has instilled in you, whether it's your discipline, your work ethic?
I would tell you the biggest thing that the Army has instilled in me is my work ethic. I haven't always been the best. There's a period of time when I was a young NCO, I didn't know my left hand from my right hand, but the Army trained me. And now I have that work ethic that I think is desirable with any employer. And it's not based off salary or anything like that. It's just based off, hey, I'm going to show you how hard I'm going to work, and you're going to reward me for how hard I work.
And you've been working hard for 21 years, which, you know, not many people make a career out of the military. What would you tell a soldier that is maybe unsure of what to do with their career, and should they stick it out like you did?
So it was very tough for me. I was a one contract, and I'm out. I said that from the beginning, and it wasn't until I had an NCO take me by the collar and say, hey, look, you're already doing NCO stuff. Let's go ahead and send you to the promotion board. The day I went to the promotion board, got recommended for promotion, and pinned on is the day my outlook in the Army changed. I wasn't just somebody in the Army. I was now a non-commissioned officer who my sole purpose was to take care of soldiers. And that's what helped me make it through my career, was not for myself, but for others.
And now I want to switch to recruiting real quick. As many can see, you have the gold badge right there. Can you explain to the people what that means?
Gold badge means you accumulated so many points over a time frame while in recruiting duty.
And now, how long have you been doing recruiting?
Since 2016, so what, 7 years?
Okay.
7 years.
When you recruit for potential future soldiers, what do you look in a person?
So what I look for in a person when I'm recruiting them is basic qualifications. Do you qualify for the Army? Do you meet the age requirements? Do you meet the citizen requirements? Do you meet the ASVAB requirements? Do you meet height and weight requirements? Do you meet everything that I can do to put you in the Army? Or is there something that I can help you with to get you to join the Army? When it comes to recruiting, regardless of personal feelings or whatever, if you are qualified to join the Army, you deserve to join the Army, regardless of how anybody feels about you.
And now, having put in so many people into the Army and seeing them go off and do bigger, better things, you know, you see that evolution from civilian to soldier. How does it feel to see people you've put in go off to do bigger things?
It feels great. I always tell this story, and I still talk to this NCO at least maybe once a month, maybe twice a month. I did not want to put him in the Army. He was cocky, he was arrogant. I was like, I do not want to be standing next to that guy. And he's like, I don't care. I qualify. You're going to put me in the Army. I put this kid in the Army. His name is Sergeant Pell. Right now he's in Texas going through a program to do some cyber stuff. He joined in 2017 as a paralegal specialist, coming from a lawn care business to a paralegal specialist. Got his associate's degree, got his bachelor's degree, was looking at growing potentially green to gold. Somebody that I thought would be out of the Army their first contract, and he is excelling, and he is humble as no other. When he calls, he doesn't call about Army stuff, he calls about personal life stuff, he calls about this, he calls about that, and that one individual, I have a lot of pride in Sergeant Pell. Don't show him this video because I don't want him to know.
Of course. Now, in recruiting, there is a lot of misconceptions with family members who maybe aren't aware of what the Army offers, all the different programs, just the various options their kids can choose to have a better career. What would you tell somebody that's maybe on the fence of enlisting in the Army or choosing a different branch, or even their family member who is unaware of everything the Army has to offer?
Absolutely. What I do with every applicant that comes in, that I come into contact with, if they start talking about other branches, I tell them, go talk to the Navy, go talk to the Air Force, go talk to the Marines, go talk to the Coast Guard, Space Force, whoever you want to talk to, and come back and talk to me. This is what potentially they're going to say. This is what we're going to do. Now, go out and do your research. The goal of an Army recruiter is, yes, we want you to join the Army. We're the best. Why wouldn't you? But to give you enough information to make that decision on your own.
And now for these recruiters that are now coming in, maybe some of them aren't aware of what entails in recruiting, or they're stressed or struggling to balance so many things. What advice would you give to these young recruiters that are coming in?
The advice I give to young recruiters, and a lot of people are not going to like what I'm about to say, and I know Nico asked me this question on purpose. What I tell all the new recruiters when they come in, there's nothing more important than yourself and your family. Not this mission, not this event, not this. Your family, yourself is the most important thing. If yourself and your family is right, everything else will follow in suit. While recruiters are out here on recruiting, you should be having fun. This is not a deployment. This is not something that you should be stressing out, losing hair, losing weight, and just getting sick over. You're gonna work hard. You're gonna put in some long hours, but the times you're not putting in work hours, you need to be with your family. I tell all these soldiers, when you once a week, you're going to lunch with your spouse. You don't have a spouse, find somebody to go to lunch with. You're going to all your kids' appointments. You're going to medical appointments. You're going to ballet recitals. You're going to softball tournaments. Whatever it is, you go to it while you're here in recruiting, because you have that opportunity.
So what comes now for Sergeant Cote?
Man, what comes now for Sergeant Cote? Well, I just threw my razor out. I threw my can of shaving cream out. I lost my barber's number. I don't know, right? So we all think we know what we're going to do when we grow up. I'm still trying to figure that out. I do have a business I started. I print t-shirts, print polos, stuff like that up in Orlando, Shark Creek, Orlando. Check us out. Instagram, Facebook. So I'm going to invest some time into the business, try to expand, get another business going, but we'll see what the future holds. I'm just looking forward to being able to give back to my family now after they've given to me for 21 years, 22 years. I'm looking forward to being there for my kids and my wife.
Absolutely. All right, Sergeant Cote, thank you for this time, and we wish you the best of luck.
Wait, I got one more thing.
Go ahead, man.
You know I always got one more thing to say. It's your career. No one cares about it like you do. And the last piece of advice I'm going to give, there's a yes somewhere. Go find it.
Perfect. Thank you.